And what are we talking about again?
Business executives and moms and how the JQ process works.
What happened? Are we left? Did it
Yeah.
go? And what are we talking about again?
Business executives and moms and how the
I think
JQ
we're on YouTube. Here we go.
Are we left? Did you
We're
what are we talking about again?
one moment. We've got our, here we go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world watching. This is the JQ Edge. My name is Dr. Brian, and I'm here with the founder, the visionary, the creator of JOYELY.com. And Cheryl, what is JOYELY?
So I'm Cheryl Lynn. What are we on? Day 3 of our JQ Edge. And so we are excited to have you here. We would like to start out with a chair of joy, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Want to?
What is the chair of joy?
Yes, of course. So JOYELY and the JQ Edge is just giving people an opportunity to step into who they are, right? Every day, all day long, a little more pause and a little bit more control, a little bit more stepping into who you are and what you want to do in the day so that the moments matter, so that your hours matter, so that the whole day matters. And then eventually our life, right? At the end of the day, creating something that we want to remember every day, all day long, puts us in the hot seat.
And one quick thing before we do the chair of joy, your chair of joy can be anywhere. And the other part of the doing the chair of joy to make every moment matter. Yes, we know every moment matters. It's make each moment your best effort with clarity, with calmness. And that's the reset we want to have you create as a habit.
So before we get started, Dr. Bryant, I'm curious. You've done these live shows for so long. You've been, helping people through lots of substance and all kinds of issues, I'm sure, over the years. So when people are tuning in live this morning, right, they're tuning in, they're going, what is this all about? What sort of things are they bringing to the table? Is there chaos? Is there stress? Is there overwhelm? What's happening?
So I believe that we're all aware of what's going on, and I like to isolate things into little boxes or compartments. That's what helps me focus. So if you're a business owner, solopreneur, if you have 10 employees, if you have 100,000 employees, you are lonely as an owner because not only are you the owner and the CEO, you're dealing with teams and clients and customers, and you're involved in every process. And what the JQ Edge is going to show you is a path for you to function at your best and not make decisions when you're angry, frustrated, upset, bothered, because despite your best efforts, everybody knows you're frazzled or angry or whatever. And it's not that you're going to ignore the emotion, it's you're going to function better with literally a reset of how you cope. And when you're coping at your best, let's say it's level 5 out of 10, everybody else will rise up to that. But if we can get you to 8 out of 10 consistently, everybody else around you will rise up to that. And if you're a mom, believe me, I've been around moms. I'm married, have grandkids now. I know when I come home, just by the look on my wife's face, she's upset, or the grandkids were driving her crazy, or her daughter was driving her, whatever it is.
Hopefully she's happy to see you.
Right. And hopefully she's happy to see me. But we all notice that. And so the JQ Edge, based on 60 years of research and putting everything together in cognitive psychology, neuropsychology, you name it, this is the best reset tool I've found as a 40-year psychologist. And so we want to share this with you. And just think for a moment, what would it be like at your worst moment if you could do a reset in 1 minute and then focus on the best way to handle whatever the tragedy, crisis, or situation is right then. Now, you're not going to solve it, maybe, but you'll make a better decision than when you're under siege and snapping. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And I think what I was asking, like, people are showing up this morning. They've got it's Wednesday morning, it's midweek. They're already, halfway through going, I didn't get anything done that I wanted to so far. I've got big projects. you know, you and I, we've got people to reach out to that we've kind of put on the back burner because other things took precedence. So what we just want to remind everybody during this check-in in the morning is that you matter. And so taking time for this 15 minutes to get your mind back on track and remember what matters is, I think, most important here. So first of all, congratulations for being here and for taking some time to go, you know, what is it that I can do right now to set myself up for success today? So one of the things that we do is called the Chair of Joy Experience. We have lots of proven programs and projects and all of the things. But I would like to invite you into a Chair of Joy. So Brian, what I love about you is, you know, we're all emotional human beings, right? And I think for men, sometimes they put it on the back burner. We've got to be strong and tough. So I like that you're here. So speak to the men for just a minute, if you can, about what it means to bring your emotions into the day to increase all the KPIs.
There's a difference between letting your emotions out and exploding and letting people know where you're at and how you want to move forward. And if you can show that, you're going to be on your way to delegating well, getting the team to perform well. I know for me, I'd like you all to tune in for a minute when we do the chair drive. What's like your favorite stuff? Where's your favorite place? But here's the key point for me as a man. I love science fiction. I love movie quotes. So one movie quote, high crisis, the Starship Enterprise is getting attacked. Khan's going to kill everybody. And Kirk calls his engineer and says, I need shields and phasers. He says, I can have it for you in a few minutes. And Kirk yells, wait a few minutes. Well, I can say that on the inside. And when my team is telling me they can't or they won't, or I have never said that, I can do a 1 minute reset and say, I'm not going to backtrack and say, okay, here's the information. Here's what I would like us all to work together on. And here's how I think we can get it done. Do you have any input? Do you disagree? Do you agree? Let's set the deadline. Let's meet it. And then you will relax and you'll focus. And all of a sudden, progress will start happening. And it literally is, if you have to, one moment at a time. You're not going to solve everything. Like I'm working on my taxes.
So,
If I have to work on my taxes to
right.
finish it, that's
So-
going to be a month.
So you don't have to leave your emotions at the door anymore?
No,
Why not?
because I can learn to not react to everything going on around me and just focus on what's the best way
Nice.
to handle this situation.
Nice.
It's okay to say, I'm frustrated, I'm
Yes.
angry, I'm ticked off. It's not okay to explode at people because that creates lack of trust.
So let's just thank you for that. Let's just refresh. Over the last couple of days, we've been talking about emotions are not good or bad or right or wrong or up or down. One doesn't weigh more than the other. We'll talk about more about that next week. But at the end of the day, when you bring all on our map specifically, we have
Right.
80 emotions, all of it, 80 emotions to work and recognize that not one of them is better or worse than the other. I think that's what puts us specifically leadership in executives in the place of, wait a second, if I can do all these emotions and show up in a way that my team could look at me and go, wow, like how are they like buzzing through the day all day long without, you know, without performing, if you will, like you show up and you do what you do.
Yeah.
That gives everyone else permission as a leader. And I know I'm still learning this, right? I got to get this figured out because I let my frustration and my like sort of like my lack of skills, like I don't know how to do all this tech stuff. And when I do that, I notice my frustration just builds up. So I love my team when they say, Cheryl, like quick chair of joy. So we're going to do that in a minute, but quick comment on that before we do the chair of joy for everybody.
This is
We're teasing like it's a little carrot. It's coming.
right. It's coming. It's coming. It's a way to refocus in chaos. So think about chaotic moments. There's no mom, dad, business owner, or CEO who doesn't feel throughout the day under siege. There's just too many things going on. And what we're saying, instead of trying to handle everything or pretend that it's all okay, this is a way to reset and refocus. You're in your position because of your expertise, because of your life circumstances. It's not a blame game. It's how do I handle this best right now?
And Dr. G, we're launching our this whole version in California this week, actually. So this is exciting. So the therapy model of this is basically saying that when we regulate first of all, recognize our emotions, we can regulate them and then navigate through them. And so Dr. G says there's three little steps in that, three big steps. Actually, there's nothing little about this. But when we can take ownership of what's going on throughout the day, when we can forgive ourselves, for me specifically, getting all frustrated, and then finally have the courage to step into the next moment. That's what we're asking you to do here. So I'm going to do the chair of joy and then I'll give you the last words. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the chair of joy. So your chair of joy is where? So like we always ask you when you come to the call, if you could bring the concept of the chair of joy with you. So for me, I love the kayak under the trees in my beautiful Wisconsin river. Where is your chair of joy, Brian?
Looking at the cliffs and facing the beach in Laguna Beach, California.
Okay. So there's a lot of science behind what we're doing today, but we want to give you the gift of the chair of joy, the 4 steps: sit, breathe, think, feel. So step 1, sit in your chair of joy where Dr. Brian's was. Sounds beautiful. Mine on the kayak. Where's yours? So that's the first concept, is just plant yourself somewhere at the edge of the river, in your backyard, at a hammock. Some people say the moon. We've done this so many times. Like I've almost think I've heard them all, but probably haven't heard yours. So love to hear it sometime. Step 2, take a deep breath in. So when you do, Brian, I'll help you. If you don't mind being my example, take a deep breath in for 5. Hold it for 5. And exhale for 5. Good job. You can feel your shoulders drop. Sit back a little. Let's do it again. Deep breath in. Hold it. And as you're holding it this time, I want you to kind of gather up all the things that are going on in the brain. Like, I got to do this. When is this over? I got to move on. Like, just bring that all in and then exhale and then let that go. We're going to do one more. 3 is ideal and optimal. If you have time, do 3. So deep breath in. Hold it again. This time, I want you to grab the things that are coming up today that are exciting, and the conversations you're about to have and the opportunities coming forward. Like, bring that out and then exhale. Also let them go. Remember, there's no good or bad or right or wrong. They just are. Step 3, think about a moment of joy. So, or a moment of something, laughter, something, a good meal you had, or, a good conversation you have or about to have. You got something? You don't have to tell me, but you have it. Great. And then hold that in your mind for just a minute. And then the 4 is to feel the energy of that. Remember, we talked about at the beginning, the energy of who we are is what's going to manifest more of what we want throughout the day. So feel that in your body. So from your toes to your knees, let it just roll up all the way to your hips, your thighs, your shoulders. Roll your shoulders a little bit, and then finally roll your neck all the way around in a 360. And take your time to feel that energy move. If you can feel it up, sometimes I rub the back of my neck, or I massage the top of my head, or I push my arms up in the air, roll I started a little mini dance or something, and then come back whenever you're ready. Woo, I took us almost to the end, Brian. You've got 1 minute, so take us to the end.
In 1 minute, wait, did you hear that?
What?
Some of the people who are very logical said, wait a minute, what's with all the breathing stuff? That's woo-woo. No, you just reset your brain scientifically, and we have the studies to prove it. We'll share that later on. Wait, I heard another thought. Psychologists and coaches were saying, do you have a system that will help us do therapy a little differently and our clients will flourish? Yes, and we're rolling that out at a therapy clinic in Santa Ana, California. So when Cheryl mentioned Dr. G, that's not me, Dr. Grossman. It's another Dr. G. We're going to show you a video and introduce him later next week. And yes, this is the next evolution in emotional regulation and peak performance. So we'll see you tomorrow at 7:45. But Cheryl wanted to say one more thing.
Have the best day.
All right.